Today I'm going to share my e.l.f. Camo collection with you. This is all the products that have the term camo in it. So first is e.l.f. Camo CC cream. I actually have not reviewed this yet. I also have the e.l.f. Camo Sponge. And then I have my e.l.f. concealers, which I'm actually decluttering, but I thought I'll go ahead and let you know the different shades that I picked out, mixing and matching, and then which ones I may keep, may not, we'll decide. Starting off with the CC cream, this is their color correcting, full coverage, natural finish, broad spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen. First shade I picked up was N425. I can't recall if it had golden undertone. N425 I thought would work for me as far as from the actual tube, but as you can see, it is slightly lighter than my skin tone. The next shade I picked up was 540, so that's 540 right there. I thought it would work, again, from looking at the tube, but then when you open it up and actually see the color, 525 or 540, excuse me, was much too dark. The good thing I checked Target's actual website and they have different shades on there. So I ultimately picked up Deep 500W, and I believe on the packaging it states that it has a golden undertone. The texture is what I would say semi-thick. It's not too thick, not too thin, so it's that Goldilocks texture. There's no scent to it or anything that I can detect, and I really just like the way it blends into the skin. There's no streaks, there's no clinging to anything dry on my skin, so it really does blend well. I do like the texture. It does feel like there is moisture in the formula. I notice that when I go in a second time to increase the coverage, again with a brush, I do notice that it will start to build up. So I'll go ahead and review the sponge at the same time. Now I've only used this Camo sponge with the Camo Concealer. I've also used it with other concealers. This sponge is incredibly soft. The softest e.l.f. sponge I've ever used. I do not care for e.l.f. sponges at all. It's just the texture of their sponges. I just don't like it. It feels really hard to me and it doesn't apply the product well. So I stay clear of it. But this one is the only one I could see myself repurchasing it, traveling with it. It's just incredibly soft and it works fine. It blends in products. It's wonderful. And it also washes back down to its white appearance. So I'm just going to use my fingers and start kind of pressing and patting that in. Now again, depending on how many times I'm going to do this, it's going to show whether or not this pigment is going to increase to that full coverage level. Now, I do consider the Camo CC cream to be a true medium coverage. Full, I mean, again, you're going to be placing a lot of layers onto your skin to really increase that pigment level. And I'm going to be honest, I mean, I have products that most of the time they're not even marketed as a full coverage, but when I put it on by the second time, it's already full coverage, right then and there. So again, true medium coverage is my personal opinion. I am very happy I picked this up and I highly recommend it. I do mix in, of course, my glow products with it. It's a little bit Lumi Match in there for to dewy, make it a lot more dewy, a lot more radiant, and by that point it's looking really good. Camo Sponge is another product I do recommend. This is a product sponge that's, it's named Camo, so that way marketing wise to get you to buy it, to match up against everything else. Don't just use this with your own, only with e.l.f. Camo. Use it with all your other products. If you don't mind the shape being not a true egg, it's it's a longer egg, then you'll like it too. It's very, very soft, and it just feels so good in the hand, and it really does blend out well, and it's very affordable. Moving on to the Camo concealers. Now, I already have reviewed the Hydrating Camo Concealers when they very first came out. Now, I picked up a few shades on the website because they weren't at my local stores. Flawless Concealer in Deep Chestnut, Camo, the regular, in Deep Olive, the Hydrating Camo in Deep Chestnut, and then the Hydrating Camo in Deep Olive. So those are the 4 new shades that I picked up. I'm also going to let go of the Deep Chestnut in the Hydrating version. It's a lot warmer than in the regular camo here that I wear. So going by the shade names and the different formulas didn't work because they're just completely off. When I'm looking at the 2 deep chestnuts, so one in a different formula, the deep chestnut and the flawless, when I mix these 2 together and I'm just a little bit of the original camo in, it still pulls off a lot warmer than I would like, whether it's on my face or whether it's going to go underneath my eyes. Last color cocktail is to mix my original Deep Chestnut with the 2 Deep Olives in Hydrating and then the original formula. Same thing, what I noticed is when I'm using the Hydrating, so any other type of formula that's out of the original camo, it's still going to pull a lot more yellow on my skin tone. So this is the Hydrating mixed in with Deep Chestnut, and then that's the original camo. And that one is the shade that would work the best for me. I personally don't see that big of a difference as far as with the 2 shades, whether it's the Deep Olive, which is on this side, or just my regular chestnut with the tan walnut. With this little experiment, I got to declutter 4 concealers out of my collection. And I hope the video has been helpful for you. Again, shade-wise, if you are close to my skin tone, but also with that little mini review on the CC cream. I want to thank you all for stopping by and watching. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, wonderful evening. Look out for one another, and also take some time as well to look after yourself. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye.